my name is Chong Lee Chuan and I'm from Republic Polytechnic. I look after the program in Design for Interactivity. Design Singapore has tasked us to organize the many ways of seeing workshop and exhibition. The longer term objective of Design Singapore is to use this platform to introduce design thinking to primary and secondary school students. This is a broad stroke approach to raise their awareness of design in their environment and at the same time get them to be creative with the way they see things in and around the way they live their lives. Many Ways of Seeing 3 is a series of workshops culminating with an exhibition at Scape. Workshop breaks down into 3 stages. The first stage is CS, the second stage is Express As, and the third stage is Form As. For Seeing As, we would like the students to really explore and discover things through their own eyes, finding things that are of interest to them. In Express As, when they come back into the workshop environment, they will then be expressing what they see in forms that are, if you like, appropriate to their understanding of it. For the third stage, which is Form As, the designers will then take the ideas from the students and fabricate them for the public exhibition at Scape.
Making a kite park is also another form of design.
And we were given a short briefing about how we're going to do this and what we're supposed to shoot. Get the sights and the sounds, what we smell, what we hear, what we see, and what we taste also.
They said look out for things, interesting things, take note of it, take pictures of it, and keep an open mind. So my students they're more used to getting instructed what to do. So it was wide open, so they had fun. They took pictures of things that they didn't realize it would concern them later.
Like we got the freedom to walk around, take photos, like we can see the greenery of everybody, the environment of it.
Very good observations, especially photographic ones from the students. They managed to capture very insightful situations that were surrounding them.
Because our school doesn't normally bring us out, we have to stay at school and normally we do activities like, it's rather quite boring. So I think this workshop is very meaningful.
The students are right now fabricating their ideas. So all in all, I'm overwhelmed that it could be done so quickly and so well. I think the key factors is they involved the teachers, the facilitators, Republic Poly that is, as well as a keynote is they brought in external practitioners, real live designers who are doing this for life. And usually what happens in competitions or seminars like this, they will come in the end, comment why, so forth and so on. But in this, the designers followed through the students on all 4 days.
Seen so far from students has been encouraging. There has been a great diversity of works, a good demonstration of different approaches and processes of tackling the issues that they have encountered.
So all in all, I think this is a great experience for the students. This was supposed to be our post-exam activity. So yes, we're really thankful and yeah, we're enjoying it.
And this is really sessions, really out of this world. It gives us a chance to voice ourselves. It gives us a chance to talk. It gives us a chance to blast our ideas. But I came here, no rules. It's freedom. And basically, you really get to do a lot of things here. It's really freedom.
Freedom, that's how we get our ideas.
And we hope that this product can be fabricated by the professional designers.
Elderly and handicapped who try their clothing very.
This is our CTI.
We also did the same thing for the rest.
Why is it that you decided on a kampong hut?
The project is shorter and light. Our inspiration came from the first day when we went to everything else inside it is fantastic.
Design that we have chosen is basically not just whether they are the most creative, but I think it came from the whole development of the process of how they come up with the idea.
To add up to that, I think a lot of the projects that were selected, they were looking at problems or issues that is happening around the area, at Woodlands, or is it like, in Singapore in general. So they were looking at problem solving, and from there coming out with a product that will help, improve the situation of environmental or social, cultural. So that was interesting to hear from them.
I think there's also quite in-depth thinking in some sense whereby, how do you stimulate people to do certain things this way?
The whole program is called Many Ways of Seeing. So in a way that we try to see how this particular program can encourage people, especially those students, try to think out of their own perspective and take the standpoint of a different person or even a different object.
I think part of the thing that we are trying to show to the students is that it's not just about product design or designing something. It's not only about the hardware but the software aspect of it as well. So as they are developing their design, they have to think of how people are using it or how do they encourage people to use it. So there's a lot of thinking of what goes on behind people's mind.
Yeah.
Since we lose out, we'll try to come again next year because we love this workshop very much.
I support the Digital Life Fund.
Rather than the adults, setting an example, so it's kind of a reminder to the adults guys
they were kind of like smoking their way through a bit lah.
Can I say, I'll go for this.
In addition to your prototypes, one designer will pick your idea and fabricate something out.
Okay, the whole idea about the whole thing is every idea from the students where the subject is eco-friendly and having to recycle the thing, reuse the thing, or reduce the amount of waste. But how I want to put that into people's life and their lifestyle is to change them, is to make them live with the things. So for example, like can I add this idea, make it into a lifestyle product? So that is basically that way. I thought of things like cushions or things like that. Then I came with this, like, okay, lifestyle is basically like a flower, you know. So yeah, so I was thinking about this water bottle. How can I make this thing like a lifestyle product? So probably I'll just cast it into a ceramic vase, but in the shape of the water bottle.
They came out with this idea of the lamppost that can blow bubbles, sweet bubbles that smells nice, as well as a dispense candy that children can eat. We are using everyday items that people always discard. So to make it into installation art using pails or even household items.
The second big idea was from a group of primary school girls who were inspired by the shophouse facade at Blair Road. They decided to take the facade and translate that to a cupboard design. What was interesting was I was trying to figure out what were the elements that inspired them, and after further research, I realized it was the multi-layerings of visuals and architectural elements that actually brought about this idea in their project. So what I did was to take these elements and like reconstruct them into a modern interpretation of the wardrobe. So the solution comes in two parts. One is the surface application of the colors and the layerings of the tiles and checkered patterns. And another aspect is to play with the juxtaposition of the forms, especially the architectural elements that can be found on the facades.
I think they were really inspired by like how the place was very rundown and it wasn't really taken care of, and they wanted to come up with this trash bag or recycling idea that will get children excited about wanting to recycle. I decided to take t-shirts as a way to recycle them, and then merging the idea with the kids, which is like the animal shaped thing, to form an animal shaped tote bag that can also be used as a trash bag, but not in plastic, but using fabric materials, t-shirts. And then I cut it into like the animal shape, which is like rabbit, owl and bear, and basically sew them up to form the bag.
Actually, this group of students, they designed a 8 shopping bag, which is like a briefcase, and inside have compartment to hold 1 8. The bag that I designed is actually a handbag, come a grocery bag for housewife, for them to go do groceries but still feel very glamorous. It is nothing related to the so-called the 8 shopping bag from the students, but I think they share the common ground, which is it both have a hidden agenda in it.
Many ways of seeing. I think it's a very good exercise for students to look into design as being a part of their everyday life, making observations, making close observations of the things they see around them, and how do they interpret those scenarios into so-called a design.
I think this workshop is great to make them realize that there are problems or existing problems in your everyday life, that design is what it takes to actually solve these problems.
They were very excited. They learned a lot. They even went out of the box to come up with products that they wouldn't have been able to do in school. So I think this process really allows them to gain another learning viewpoint or perspective rather than just from textbook.
So when we took over this cat house project, it was by these students who were interested to address the issues of stray cats in Woodlands. So this is what they did. A cat house that allows the cats to rest and to deposit their feces and their urine. And it's also a shelter. So when we took over the project, we thought, why do cats need a house? So we decided to go on site to really study cats, stray cats. So these are actually maps of the cat movements. These are human movements, and then where the cats are actually moving. These blue lines here. So we chose an area like this, and then we decided to study how the cats actually inhabit space. So the result was actually a book that actually has got different documentation of the area where the cats were living in. All in all, our interpretation was that cats don't really need a cat house, but what we're more interested in was how they actually live in our neighborhood amongst us, and how they actually are able to adapt so quickly and rapidly in space.
So the original idea was that you have this heritage dial phone. Yeah, you do not press in the idea of having this dial is that you don't press in the button. I think also good observation on the student side that today, we press into touchscreen, we press into buttons. But last time, we have to take this very tedious way of dialing. Yeah, so interesting observation there. So what happens is that when you dial, you kind of, when you press one, you dial into central. You get to know Singapore, the central region. So I kind of took that idea and say, right, what can I do about it? So this is the result. Right, instead of dialing one for the north, in this case you have a direct relationship. If you want, this is the Singapore map. If you want to find out more about the north, you simply dial the north. Find out more about Sentosa, right? Dial Sentosa and listen in to the unique sound of Sentosa. It could be in the 90s, 80s or 70s. Yeah.
I actually thought that in terms of the collaboration between designers and students, the students actually did a really good job. So as designers, we are just running in parallel with them. It doesn't mean that we are better than them. I actually like their work sometimes more than a designer's work. So.
One thing we are really proud about the students is this. Not only have they shown exuberance in capturing what they have seen, heard, felt, and encountered, but they have come up with design solutions that are functional and at the same time connect with people's hearts and with people's mind. And they did so by applying the power of observation, looking deep into everyday things and human behavior, and by going through the rigor of the various stages in design thinking, ideate, evaluate, prototype, and also critiquing one's own ideas. I hope with their newfound insights and experiences, students and teachers, facilitators and designers alike will continue to explore and uncover the endless possibilities and design opportunities that surround us, all in the spirit of many ways of seeing.
Design Singapore Council is actually the national agency tasked to use design to help all businesses to be competitive and to develop design capabilities. We have a Design Thinking and Innovation Academy that is tasked to, at the national level, grow a nation of design thinkers. Again, we want to reiterate that you do not need to know how to draw to become a design thinker. What we need you to do is to understand what is the design process so that it becomes an innovation process.